Hey guys, Metalhead Monkey here. Welcome to another high-level Halo Wars video. Here this time, I'm bringing you a bonus game. This is going to show how I really figured out how to play the map Terminal Moraine. This is the game I actually based a lot of the strategies in the Anders Arbiter guide off of in terms of Terminal Moraine, because I feel like it really does show everything that should be done on this map. I mean, it emphasizes some of the main concepts and what you can and can't do. And so in this case here, we've got bad side, so we'll show you how to play it from bad side. I'm playing with OG Legit, and his best maps are by far definitely Crevice and Terminal Moraine. He's a good player. He just doesn't play very often, and he's usually high when he's playing. But here we go. I've sped this up to 160%, so because there was a bit of lag in the game, and because I don't really feel like just talking about the game entirely. I feel like more talking about the theory behind everything. So we're gonna get the bottom side, and on the other hand, they pelican the top side, or we're assuming they pelican the top side. We're gonna go with they pelican the top side. We didn't even check this game. Did I check this game? I don't know. I might have gone close enough. It doesn't look like it went that close on the mini, but maybe I had sight on his ghost or something. Either way, they have top side. And so basically, you're going to collect crates, you're going to go top a second with your Arbiter, and if you notice I'm being really slow getting over. Like, I didn't even leave my base for 15 seconds. I was just sitting there in front of that pile of supplies. You can judge that by how fast my pad's made up. Basically, I start rage running here, and if you listen right out here, you'll hear that it says pad complete. I didn't delay any pads. That was my fourth pad just finishing. So actually, if you don't delay anything, you can go over and you can stop their fourth pad. That's crazy. So Velocity's got caught in a bad spot here, so he has to recall because he doesn't have money for Citadel, and I'm at his base in a position to cheese him, basically. So he's kind of, yeah. So he just got caught with his pants down on that one. And you don't want to play defense here. But okay, watch what's going on right now though. Look at the top of the map. Legit built 4 hogs. He built 3 extra hogs, and there's gunless. And I don't know when he went for that reactor, but just gunless hogs. And they're sitting up camping that marine at the top of the tower. That means that since they did pelican based on the timing of the marine and everything, but that means that they can't go for a VD5 to push me off because he's got them camped. So now they're basically even, except their Pelican reactor for the VD5 doesn't pay off. So if he goes, now, since Legit has his hogs over there, we get dicked if they manage to go hogs and they push on my base. But they didn't do that this game. So if they go for the VD5, this will plunder them. And Velocity just eats a grunt because he's really good. And generally, you don't play defense with an Arbiter on an Arbiter just because of that, is that there's no defender's advantage. You're just as risk as the other Arbiter is of getting grunted. And besides, you can't really always kill grunts. Grunts just go into the pads so quickly. Okay, but besides the point, that's besides the point. So Legit built a barracks. He built 2 marines and 3 flamethrowers. Walking those around, you put 1 marine in the reactor. It's gonna take damage. It's probably gonna die. But you use your flamethrowers to kill the snipers and the other infantry there. And basically, that'll clear that bottom reactor, and you'll hold it permanently. Then you get to pelican the leftover flamers up to the top reactor and take that from them. So because you're going to take their top reactor from them, then they're going to be delayed further on tanks. I'm sitting here because I already killed his Arbiter, and I have nowhere else to be. And I have a pad on the bottom, which they don't have. So me not going to his base, I can wait until he gets Citadel, because he's not touching my base. I'm untouched. I just upgrade my pads and stay ahead of him. So now he's got Citadel. Now I got to go over. But I didn't want to deal with the tank. I don't want to rage it yet. So he's telling me right now he wants me to go and grab one of those reactors with my Arbiter, and yeah, that's a good idea. You generally want to do that. Notice he hacks right there, so my Arbiter doesn't even do damage on his first rage shit on that grunt. That was really great, and that was just good timing on his part that I ran right into the grunt there. Either way, his Arbiter's dead. Mine isn't. That's the point. Okay, so he actually tried doing no upgraded pads this game. You'll see that at the end of the video. So honestly, just upgrade your pads. But basically, if you see, he's holding both of the hooks right now. So he's got, so sure, Quantum has the top hook, but he has 2 reactors on his base, and Legit doesn't have to do that. Legit has it pushing up with his first canny tank because they don't have an Arbiter. They can't do anything about this. because he was trying to sneak into summits, because that's pretty much his only chance to come back at this point. So basically, the main thing is that if they go hogs, you can't be camping them at the top side, but if they also going hogs, it means they're not going VD 5th, which the game plays out pretty similar. So it comes down to, as much as people think there really is a difference between north side and bottom side, it's not that significant if you just take the bottom side and Pelicans deal the top side at one point in the game. The main thing to do as Covenant is you want to go for double summit and then transition into rage, into solo rage. You'll see how this actually plays out. I recall because I don't want to lose my arbiter because it's pretty valuable. But if you'll notice, there's so many supplies on this map. The problem with legit camping at the beginning though was that he's not getting these supplies, so my ghost is kind of key to get those supplies. Now I could just get there a little bit later with my arbiter to their base, but obviously you want to be at their base first every time. So yeah, just pour the middle supplies, and he's expanding on the side. Now the thing is, you always want to take that side expansion while you're single pumping candy tanks, or single pumping tanks in general, and then try to get a double pump of tanks going on your main base. If you this is affordable when you have upgraded pads. He doesn't have upgraded pads this game, so we can't really do that. But I find it the best, honestly, to single pump Spartan tanks while taking an expansion, and then throw up a second depot on your main base while you're building supply pads on your expo. And that way, and you can throw your tech up there. Basically, they can never push, unless they have ridiculous banshee numbers, which they won't at this point in the game, or at any point, really. They won't have too many, they won't have enough to really stop your base or anything. So basically, they can't push on that base with tanks unless they want to lose their main base. So it's always a good idea to take that base. Unless you're building hogs, because then the reinforcements kind of don't play a factor when you're going hog, because they can't cross the bridge every minute. Yeah, you don't want to build units from there, you just want to have it. And so you'll see here is that I'm just going to take him out of the reactor, we're going to steal it again. He had a few more flamers that he didn't send, or he had to build more. I don't know what he did, but he has them. And that base drops a lot of crates, so basically it'll pay for those infantry that you built. And then when you just send them over, it's good to go. Flamers walk faster than Marines, so just walking them across is fine. Obviously, they could have picked them off if they were in position. But the point is that we're keeping pressure on their reactor and keep constantly taking them out of it. You can never really tech into power turrets unless, of course, it goes through a longer game. You can't tech straight into it. You have to do it when you have high numbers. Because if you do it with low numbers, you're just going to get rolled in by the mass candy push. However, you can defend the double depot candy down tech off the single if you expo and went for the Spartan tank build. You'll hold it because you got the defender's advantage and you have the Spartan tank, which stall for time. Everyone knows. Anyone who plays Forge will know that. Just like on you, that's how you do it on docks with Spartan tanks to stall while you get your own candy eventually. So basically, the Spartan tanks are very useful, especially when they have an arbiter, and then it means they're forced into double summit, but you'll be ahead on the double summit. Well, you're not always ahead on the double summit. Basically, it's pretty even, so it's just going to be tanks, your stronger tanks versus their tanks. I actually took a pad on the side. It's definitely a good idea to give your Covenant one of these pads, especially if you have bottom side. Top side as well, I'd give the pad, because you're going to want to be expanding onto the side base. So by expanding onto the side base and taking just single pumping tanks instead of going for that double pump, you'll be much better off. You'll eventually throw the double pump on your main base, so leave one pad non-upgraded, and then just upgrade the first pad on your expo and down that pad on your main for a second depot. This should be about the time you're going for your candy. I mean, you should be going up about the same time. You kind of ditch the barracks for your Tech 3 after you've gotten chain gun, and your barracks, your Tech 3 should be going up like right before your base, your expo, or about the same time. Either way, it should be pretty close in timing. But now we have the lead here, and now he's getting into vamps. I could just drop my summits, but I keep them up. I have the extra pad, so it's not that significant. So I'm just trying to upgrade my arbiter as much as I can. I could have stopped not built vamps at all, and just gone for the arbiter upgrades, and then been just fine here. Now we have power turret to power turret, but we have more because we kept taking him out of the reactor the entire game. And we have the side base expansion, so it's easier to afford everything for us. My arbiter gets a bit stuck here, but that's not even the point. The point is that we forced them to play super hardcore defense while we got ahead because we had base advantage. And that's the keys to Terminal Moraine. It's all about getting the double summit banshees, getting that side expansion base up, and going hogs in the beginning. There's certain situations where you would not go hogs, but in Cut Arbiter Mirror you're going hogs every time. As Anders Arbiter you're going hogs every time. If they go for a VD 5th and they go for a turret then you can still go hogs, but you got to make sure that your arbiter is going straight. You got to recognize them and have your arbiter go straight to their UNSC base. That way, your arbiter will kill the depot, kill the turret. You can kill both of them just with your first 3 grunts, but you have to make sure that your UNSC has his hogs. In that case, has his hogs at the arbiter base, because you have to camp that lift. Because if he gets his grunts through, then you're in trouble. Because you can't let your arbiter get that far behind their arbiter. Alright, I'll see you guys next time. Hope you enjoyed this one. This is just going to play out to the end, and you'll see where he sends me the message that he was just trying the upgraded pads. Yeah, it's all about balancing your offense, your defense, and knowing that you can't keep your hogs at their hook while they have hogs at your base. But if they don't have hogs at your base, feel free to keep them back, keep them down all day, and take hook advantage. Catch you guys later.